Hello and welcome back to all 1,260 plus of you avid consumers of Pax Dei content out there and the nearly 60% of you who have not yet decided to hit that subscribe button. I'm Eltari, the professional gamer, and this is another PAX Friday review, the show where we talk about all of the fun, interesting, new, and exciting information that has dropped for PAX Dei over the last week. I would also like to take a moment to thank and give firm professional handshakes to all of our channel members out there. Thank you so much for supporting what we do. In this week's episode, we had some very important information drop over the earlier part of the week, and that was a time frame from mainframe to expect the next Alpha 2. We are given Q1 of 2024. That was actually about 3 to 4 months earlier than what I was actually expecting. They also came out with a lot of feedback information and things to expect that they're going to be addressing in future build iterations. And we covered all of that on Tuesday's video, so I have it linked up above and down below for you all to go and check that out. It has some good information, and it's totally worth your 8 minutes and 40 some odd seconds of that video. But they also mentioned one small thing that I wanted to talk about today, as well as we have a community discussion going on about friend codes. So before we get to all of that, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like this video if it's the type of content you enjoy, and share with any of your friends who are interested in PAX Dei. Let's get to talking about some alpha details. So one of the things that was mentioned in the Tuesday post that announced the alpha date was something that kind of caught my eye, and it caught a lot of other people's eyes as well, and that's the subject matter for the next alpha, and specifically what isn't going to be the subject matter of the next alpha. That is building. So building mechanics, building, that is not going to be the topic of testing for the next alpha, for Alpha 2, for PAX Dei. It's going to be something else. Obviously, I would imagine building is still going to be something that is in the game, but it looks like the developers are going to be looking to get feedback and a lot more information from us with regards to another system. It's important to note that in the previous alpha, what did we test? We tested crafting, building, and exploration. Now, of those three, building was the most complete, and we can see that through all of the amazing buildings that people have posted online, shared, and even in our Creators of the Creation series, there was a lot of really awesome builds. So we know that building was a relatively complete system, but crafting and exploration, maybe not as much. And then one of the most glaring things that were missing from the first alpha was a fully fleshed out combat system. In terms of what could potentially be what we see for the next alpha, I think that it could be combat, but I think that we are going to be put more in a direction of crafting and crafting progression. In the Tuesday post that announced the next alpha timeframe, one of the interesting things that I kind of noted was that they talked a lot about crafting and crafting balance. And they didn't mention that crafting also wasn't going to be a topic of the next alpha cycle. So if you had to ask me, my professional opinion is that we are going to be testing a more fleshed out crafting system, one that maybe has additional tiers past where we were able to get to in this initial phase. And obviously building is going to come into the crafting system because you're going to have a place to craft. But I think that is probably going to be the next system that the developers are going to be testing. There was a lot of stuff that needed to be fleshed out for it. We only had 2 different tiers of crafting stations most of the time, and there was a lot of different balance issues when it came to gathering the resources or what resources were required in order to continue to level your crafting discipline up. So I think we probably are going to see something that has to do with that, but I think it's definitely possible that we start to see an initial implementation of combat, but I think Mainframe is being wise in this, and they are not going to show us any form of combat system until they are ready to. And I can respect that, and I appreciate it, because it's really difficult when you only have half of a system out, and then it's a pivotal system like combat that players are always going to be using, regardless of if they play PvP, PvE, or even if they're going and gathering. You're going to have to use combat during almost every play session. So it's a really important system to have locked down. And if you just put that out half-baked, it's going to be a really big disappointment for some people, and it could put people off to the game. So I appreciate the fact that they haven't given us a half-baked combat system in Pax Day, and I think that trend is going to continue going into Alpha 2, and as a result, the focus is most likely going to be crafting, though stay tuned, because we are most likely going to be getting a lot more updates on what to expect well long before the alpha is actually officially announced with a date. Now, I wanted to also talk about something that the community at large has had a little bit of a discussion on, especially on the official Pax Day Discord channel. And if you haven't joined that yet, this is where I get a lot of the information for this channel. You definitely should go and join the official Pax Day Discord. I have that linked down below as well. But one of the topics and the thing that was discussed today was friend codes and friend keys. And for those of you who are new to Pax Day, or even for the old veterans who had signed up all the way back in early March in that time frame, friend codes are basically a way that Mainframe uses to connect users together to know that they're a part of a community. Now, those friend codes do have a potential weighting to allow multiple players with the same friend code to get into the alpha. And there was a little bit of a comment of concern from a lot of members in the community, because this friend code, essentially, if you have a very large group of people, they were worried that that friend code was going to essentially give these groups of 300, 400 people all access if one person got access. Mainframe iterated in today's post that that is not the case, and that is definitely something that they don't want to have happen necessarily. They do want communities to come in and test systems together, because in the end of the day, they are making a game that is supposed to cater to various size groups, not just a solo player or a very large group of players. They want all different pieces in between as well, and those friend codes are a way for them to kind of understand, or at least pseudo guarantee, that they're getting some people in who are going to be playing with each other rather than just going off and doing their own thing. That friend code, it's not the end all be all. There are a lot of other factors that go into how Mainframe is selecting their alpha players, and ideally, as the game progresses and we get into more alphas, they are going to constantly be expanding the total number of players that they invite into the game and allow to play at the same time, until eventually, hopefully, all of us are able to get in with really no issue at all. Additionally, something that is important for Mainframe is to just give general feedback about the game. So if you were fortunate enough to be able to get into the alpha, you should definitely head over to the official Discord for Pax Day and leave a comment down in the general feedback section. That is all that we have to talk about for today, and we have a special announcement. As you can tell, winter is in the air in the office here at the Professional Gamer, and next Saturday the 23rd, we are going to be having our 1,000 plus now subscriber holiday special. It'll be happening at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are very excited for it. We're gonna have a special holiday Christmas story for all of you to enjoy, as well as we will be playing a lot of different games. There will be opportunities for you, the viewer, to join us in some of those games, and if that is something that interests you, The way that you should find out more is to go and join the Professional Gamer Discord. The link is down below, and that is where the event details are located. We are going to be streaming on both Twitch and YouTube at the same time. It has been a truly awesome last couple of weeks and months, especially seeing this small startup channel grow to what it is today. And I am just so excited to see where we take this channel in 2024. Thanks for tuning in, and until next week, I'm Altari, the Professional Gamer.